It's the semi-final of the World Championships. It's a race to 300, and your opponent is Mr. Rafael Garcia, who has also been playing a very good race so far. It's a very good tournament because both of you played so far over 100 of average, and that means 100 points per inning average. Okay, as you can see, just to remind the people, you can see 9 squares on the table, 9 big squares, and the rules are very simple. You're only allowed to make 2 consecutive shots, maximum, in 1 square. That means that after 2 points, one of the 2 balls, either the object ball or the red, must have left the square. So how can you produce a high break of, say, 100 or more?
So it's easy to understand when you put the balls together, the second and the third ball, it's easier to make points than when the balls are far away from each other. That's such a logical explanation. So now I try from the beginning to keep the balls as short as possible to each other by playing what they call call shots. So it's the way to call the shots when you bring one ball back to the other balls. Like this one, the red ball will go along the table and come back as close as possible to the 2 other balls.
Yes, because you're a native French speaker. You're coming from Belgium and you call these kind of shots rappel shots, don't you?
Yeah, the people use an international terms like rappel and like also the announcements of the
referee.
The referee, they say entrée when the balls come into a square. They call it dedans when the balls are staying after the first shot in the same square.
Right.
And they call à cheval when one ball is at one side of the line and the other ball at the other side. So it's a rather French-speaking company here that we have for the announcement of the referees.
Yes, but a magnificent Belgian player at the table right now, so... Anyway, we will come back to that from entrée and dedans, because we will hear the referee say that a lot of times in this game. So now, what you try to do was actually to make, and what we see is that in championships like this, at such a high level, because I can say that Mr. Caudron plays now already over 100 average, which means that he makes 100 shots before he misses. And the thing you want to do is not to miss. So the way you can keep that up is to keep the balls very close together.
In this kind of game we will explain a little what's the technical way to keep them together.
Alright. Because I see immediately that you play a lot of stun shots, right? You don't do much with the white.
Yes, it's important to keep the position like that, and important to stay close to the third ball. The third ball you touch with the cue ball.
Right.
And this in order to avoid a difficult position after the shot.
Yeah, and the shot you just made, you elevate your cue behind, and they call it the Marseille shot. What is the most important thing about a Marseille shot? Because you must have enough self-confidence, I suppose, to play a shot like that.
Yes, but we are used to play this kind of shots in the back line. It's a very important part of the game. When you get the position, balls together, and the balls are in the line, so you have a big, very important solution by playing Marseille shots. also keeping the balls under control like that.
So I suppose it takes many hours of practice to get the exact feeling of massé shots.
Of course, like the ballkline in general needs a lot of practice.
Okay. Okay, now we can see what you mean by playing on the ballkline. Now you can see very clearly the line which is drawn on the table. And what Mr. Caudron is, which I'm gonna call Fred from now on, because it will be a lot easier. The thing you want to reach with this is to get all three balls next to each other in the area.
Yeah, and now the position is, they call it entrée, so I play a small shot. Dedans, it means that one of the two balls has to go out of the small square, of the big square.
So entrée, that means that's the very first shot you're allowed to play, and dedans means that you're obligated to play one of the two balls, either the object ball or the red in this case. You have to play it out of the square, right?
Maybe we will make the announcement together with the referee so you can follow the game.
Okay.
And they say à cheval when the balls are not in a square.
Alright. So à cheval means literally on the horse. That's a term, a technical term from French, which is only used to make it easy for every carom player in the world. I think that even the lesser good players know what entrée, dedans and à cheval mean.
Yeah, that's also the international announcement, so everybody must know what it means. Like Japanese people also, they make the announcement in French, for example.
Okay. Because from origin, this game is a French game, isn't it?
Yeah, let's say it's a long time ago and I don't know precisely, and maybe it's not it's too difficult to talk about it because we don't have many information now here.
Right. Okay, still trying to get the balls on the line. Not much difficulties for so far. And we can hear the referee saying that he made 33 points already in just a few minutes' time. Okay, now you heard the referee say dedans. That means that one of the two balls, either the object ball or the red, has to leave the square. Which he did perfectly. And to recuperate the position, just by playing the red over three cushions and then back in the bunch, is called also a call shot in sometimes, but is known internationally as a rappel. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you know exactly the terms of ballkline billiards. And now we will just continue.
Yes, it's easy because most of the terms we use are French terms and everybody in the world can understand them.
Right, so I think it's best now to go on and talk about the tactical side of the game, of the match.
So as long as the balls are together, it's easy to make points.
Okay.
And the goal of the game is to keep them as long as possible like that. And keep on holding the balls in each at the side of the lines.
Because we can see now that the red and the white are in separate squares. And I don't know, what are you thinking right now? Because you take a lot of time.
Yeah, because the position is now entrée in the small square. So the small square is working like a big one. And now it's entrée in the small one. I don't take any risk and I put it directly out of the square, the white ball, the object ball.
Right.
And by a call shot I bring the ball back in the square.
So now in fact what you did, you played the two balls on the line and now you have the break. And now you can just run points and hope that you make a lot of points so that your opponent doesn't have a chance anymore to come at the table.
Yeah, and this is now the perfect position for making a break in the balk line. One ball at one side of the line, the other ball the other side, and the cue ball in between, playing a rappel, and the white ball, which I am playing on, must come back directly on the cue ball, so making what they call a barrage.
Right.
And you see the position is moving in the direction of the middle of the table.
So as we can see, you try to play the object ball into your own cue ball so that it stops perfectly on the line, right?
Yes, that's the way to do it.
You almost don't use any force on these shots. Is it because the material is that good?
The table was rather easy, but there is one way to give the shot, to give the power on the second ball. And when you play this kind of run, it's almost always the same power you have to give. Now I'm trying to turn the position because I don't want to keep this line. I want to keep the position in direction of the small cushion, the short cushion.
Right, so you try to use a small square in the middle of the table to run along the line. And why is it called 47-2, by the way?
So 47 is the distance between the line and the cushion.
That is in centimeters?
In centimeters. And 2 is the number of points you are allowed to make in each square.
Okay, 47 centimeters is a little over 18 inches. So if you play the object ball 18 inches back and forth, you will have traveled at least 37 inches, which is quite a distance. You're talking about 90 centimeters.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks so simple how you play this. I mean, when you play a little screw shot like this, how much feel do you have? How easy does it go? I mean, you play so fast now, I think.
Yeah, but it's a matter of practice and automatism. So I did practice this a lot of time, a lot of hours in my younger time, let's say. And this is just coming back, the automatism. This kind of way of playing, I don't have to think too much about it before shooting.
Yeah, and you're starting to get in your rhythm as well, right?
Yeah. But it's also important to feel the moment that you will have a problem, to try to avoid it before shooting. Like now I have to pay attention because maybe the white ball is getting into the square.
Into the small square, right?
Into the big one, I believe, yeah, into the big one.
Okay.
And now I hit the white ball at the inside to put it out of the big square.
So we can see it's...
The announcement would be now à cheval entrée. It means à cheval for the big one and entrée in the small one, like you see.
Yeah, you can see the small square very well now.
And this is the way to turn the position. I put the cue ball in the hole by one cushion and I bring the red ball by two cushions.
So now you start over again, just the other way around, right?
Yeah,
because
so
what we saw you do was make us kind of a U form.
Yeah, I'm just following the line and turning and holding the position in the direction of the short cushion when possible. Now I'm going in the direction of the billiard, of the big space. And when I will reach the crossing of the two lines, I will try to turn the position.
Right. And we can see that you have a very smooth stroke, also called in French un coup de queue.
Yeah, that's...
I'm sorry for my pronunciation, but...
No, it's okay, we understand very good. So the stroke, yeah, it's also hours of practice. So I reach 100 points and now I turn the position directly by passing between or through the balls.
Right. And a fantastic audience, by the way, who was applauding for the break of 100, also called century break. Again, people don't despair because this is a race to 300, so you're gonna see a lot more of real spectacular balls.
By the way, now we have some time to thank the French organizer Marc Picot and the club of Ronchin. They are used to organize this kind of tournament, European Championships, World Championships, and the organization was really great.
Yeah, thanks to them there's this championship, which is only played once every, say, 10 years, because I understood that this tournament was organized for the last time, and I'm talking about the World Championships, about 18 years ago, right?
I think it must be a little more. If I'm right, it must be 78 the last time they played this World Championship.
So you're talking about 26 years ago. Why is it only organized once every so many years then?
Yeah.
Why not every year?
International Federation want to organize it more often than this, but they don't have the national organizer. And now it seems that it will be organized more often, like maybe 2 European Championship a year, or 3 maybe, and 1 World Championship each year.
Oh, that would be very, very
So
nice.
they will change each time a different game. Let's say now it was 47-2. Maybe next year they will make 71-2 or 1 cushion. But its objective of them is to make it each year a different one. World Championship and at least 2 or 3 European Championships.
And 71-2 means that you can make 2 consecutive shots in each square, but you only have 6 squares instead of 9. And I mean by that, there's only 1 line drawn in the length of the table instead of 2 like you can see now.
Yeah, and because the distance is now 71 centimeter, and 71 is just the half of the table, so there is only 1 line.
That's a very, very, very difficult game. I mean, you're talking about averages now, because you're playing over 100 average right now. So far in the before the semi-final, it's still going on because you have already made a break way over 100. But if you talk about your opponent, Mr. Rafael Garcia, who is from Spain, he is also playing over 100 average. When I see this, I see 131.9 average. How come the level is so high and still very, compared to 3-cushion billiards or pool or snooker, relatively unpopular sport?
Yeah, it's a matter of television. When you don't see so many games on television, the people, most of the people don't know the game, and that's why it's a matter of sponsoring, and it's a very difficult matter. Let's talk about maybe the Rafael Garcia played in the qualification 4 games in the groups, 250 points. He played for the 1000 points in 6 innings. It means a grand average of 166 and something. And he was, after the qualification groups, one of the favorite of the tournaments because he was playing such a big average.
Yeah, when you hear those scores, when you hear those averages, you think it's magic. And it certainly is in a way. I can guarantee you that. It's pinpoint precision, the way the players are executing the shots, and especially Mr. Caudron.
In the balls, how they call it in English, this bad contact?
Bad kick.
Bad kick, so let's say we call it butage. It's also an international word.
Right.
And it gives a very bad reaction in the cue ball, and it can make you miss a very important shot.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do in a tournament like this.
Yeah, of course, and so it's important to let clean the ball. maybe each, it depends, 70, 80, 100 points or less. When you see something on the ball, so you'll ask the referee to clean it, and it's over, it's okay.
So apparently the referee is a very important person to you in a game like this. I mean, he stands over your shoulder and he looks over your shoulder. I mean, that must distract you, doesn't he?
Yeah, but a good referee, you don't see him, you don't even hear him, only counting the points. He must follow you, and it's not the opposite way. He must follow your rhythm.
Rhythm, yeah.
Yeah, and so even if you have a very good referee, you don't remember him after the game. You don't remember who was the referee. And we are very lucky for this tournament. The quality of the referee was very high.
As well, especially your game as well. And we can see that you made now a break, which is very considerable. How do you think Mr. Garcia is thinking? Because he's sitting in his chair now for over 20 minutes.
Yeah, let's say we all know the feeling when you are sitting on the chair. You hope that the opponent will miss very soon, give you a chance to play. Now also I'm playing this game really fast and secure. So I suppose he has a bad feeling now.
Yeah. Because you're back on the line again, and I suppose every player who plays balkline billiards knows that's a bad sign. To be on the line, to see your opponent being on the line and you sitting in the chair, you must think, oh, this could be the end.
So now a little difficult shot. I have the balls are frozen, touching each other. I must play out of the balls. But it was...
it's a very hard Marseille shot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how you... So you make 140. Trying to get position again to go in the line.
Yeah, also the feeling of the opponent must be now even worse, because I didn't have any difficult situation in the first 140 points. So I think I give him an impression that I will finish the game. I hope it was the feeling.
Well, you gave me the feeling that everybody can play this game like you doing. Like you do. So now the referee calls à cheval entrée. And that means that you're...
À cheval for the big one, and entrée in the small one, the small square.
Okay.
So now entrée.
Entrée.
When they make two announcements, it means that we are playing close to the small kader, or they call it anchor.
Why did they actually put the anchors over there?
So they put it when they noticed that the game was going to be too easy. When the people catch the good position close to the short cushion, it was possible to make a lot of points there. And to make it a little more difficult, they put they drew these
anchors.
Small anchors. Yeah.
Right. So instead of just playing a thin shot over the red, you choose to play a big screw shot on the white. Why do you do that?
Yeah, to take the position back. And now it's the down, so I will have to push the position anyway. And I took a position on the red, and I play a core shot from the red ball. And you can notice I take position on the white ball to assure the next position. Now the red ball is passing just through the balls.
You're just laughing as well.
It was a little funny. Also the people was reacting. But I keep on in a good position.
Yeah, because you talk a lot to people around you and to the referees, right, when you play.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're not very shy. I mean,
No,
when
but
you see
I
a
try
play-
to keep it a little not funny, but
pleasant.
pleasant, let's say. And also, it's not a war; it's just a game after all.
Well,
When you have probably more chances to make jokes in three cushion because there are some situations like lucky shots that you can make many jokes. In the bulk line, there are not so many situations when you have the possibility to talk and to talk to the opponent or to the referee.
because that's very typical. Because even when you joke and when you laugh, you just see it as a game. But in the same time, you're in the top 3 in the world of each game. How do you explain that? I mean,
Yeah, that's my way of being also. I think when I'm looking at a billiard game, I hope to have some fun by looking. So when the people is too stressed and too serious, and I don't like so much the game. So myself, I try to keep it pleasant. And I like when the people is reacting to my jokes when I make it in three cushion, and it's better for the billiard in general.
yeah, because what we've seen the last years is that they put a time clock, especially for three cushion players, but you don't see the time clock in this game. So
No, because this game is a little different. You can play very slow this game also, but there is some movement. You have a lot of small positions, and you must go on, because if you wait for 1 minute for each shot, it can take 3 days for the game, and it's not so funny.
and you want to stay in your rhythm.
Yeah, but I'm a little faster than the most of the players. I think I finish this game. If I finish one inning, I can play 45 minutes.
Yeah, you
And I
have-
think most of the people, they play more than 1 hour 15 minutes for 300 points. I know Tillemans is a little slower. It can take a long time for the game, and when he's starting and you must wait on the chair, you get really nervous and really tired of looking at him.
right.
He's playing very, very nicely but slowly, and it's a very difficult opponent. Blondale is a little more nervous. He is playing faster and not so technical as Tillemans, but when he's starting making points, you never know when he will stop.
Right. And being a Belgian player, don't you have the crush of being one of the next Keulemans players or one of the next Dillis players? Because those two players are the most renowned players in Belgium for people over, say, 50 years. How do they look at you? I mean,
Yeah, I know them very good, and I know they respect me like I respect them, and they made a lot of good things for the billiard in Belgium and in the world, because now we have some chances to earn a little more money by playing billiard, and it's thanks to them that they made the billiard a little more professional.
well, you have to earn your money. They don't have to earn the money for you. But we can see over here that you make a great game. So everything seems so easy. Because you're in several shots, you lost the position on the line, but in 2 or 3 shots, you're on the line again. I mean, that seems so easy, you know? I saw you putting a little check side. I mean, you played with right-hand side spin.
Yeah, so when you know the balls are turning, if you put the left spin on the ball, on the cue ball, the object ball is getting the opposite spin. So it helps to bring it back by playing the core shot.
Right. And did you play this red too slow deliberately, or did you?
No, I just lost the shot. I lose the shot. I didn't put not enough speed in the cue ball.
Right.
So I left it a little too short. But okay, you know, when you play 47-2, you have the right to make some mistakes because you have one chance to bring the balls into a good position. When you play ballkline 47-1, one means you only have the right to make one shot in each square.
Right.
If you make a big mistake, you have a very difficult position and you can miss easily. So you know, if now I have the time to make one shot, the referee says dedans, so now I make the core shot and bring the red ball into the square. And I take the position on the whiteboard, like you see.
Right. And maybe a tactical question. Why do you always try to get the 3 balls in the middle of the table instead of at the rail? I mean, I would perhaps think of people playing for the rail instead of in the middle of the square, in the middle square of the 3.
Yes, now we have a good example. When you have the 3 balls in the middle of the square, you have many possibilities to have a core shot by 1 cushion, 2 cushion or 3 cushion. Many possibilities, so not so many risks, and that's important. When you have the 3 balls close to the rail, you don't have so many possibilities.
So that's a very good tip for your players out there.
Yeah, most of them know already this. Maybe for the beginners, they can learn something from this.
So learn from this that you shouldn't be afraid of just playing the balls a little bit around to get exactly what you want to. So you're hesitating right now because you have them almost on the line. So why do you play this follow through? Because I don't really understand it, because you have them on the line.
I could not play a small shot, I think, so I had to put to play this shot like this.
And the only thing you want to do is get the object ball back, right?
Yeah. No, entrée partout. So I will push a little the red ball out of the big square. Now it's à cheval dedans means à cheval for the big one, and I must take the red ball out of the square. And I get the perfect position.
You're on the line again. We could clearly see now that the red was on the left and that you couldn't screw it back without forcing it. So you applied some left-hand spin, right?
Yes, and I hit very thick the second ball, and I hit with a little speed, so it takes the opposite spin when touching the rail, and so I could get the good position back.
Okay.
This is the perfect core shot.
Nice core shot, yeah.
But the position you take on the red ball is very important, and it makes the core shot easier or not.
So the only things you look at, in fact, are the cue ball and the object ball, right? You don't even look at the third ball, almost not, when you play ballkline billiards.
Yeah, it's important to stay close to the third ball, and maybe it's not so important to take care about it. Look, when I make now this shot,
you barely touch it just to make the point
valid. Yeah. And now, unfortunately, I lost the position, but I will go through the balls and get the position in the direction of the short rail. They call it a dominant position.
Right, dominant position. And you always try to stay within the quarter of the table on the short rail, right?
Yeah. you can see that I don't use the other part of the table as much as possible, or as less as possible.
Yeah. $232 points made, and Mr. Garcia is still sitting on his chair without a single point scored.
The people who is sitting at this moment is suffering a lot. You can imagine, when you play 3 cushion, you come at the table, let's say, a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have to wait. You don't have any chance to stop the player who is playing. Just suffer and wait for your chance if you get it.
So unfortunately you lost position again. So I suppose this is going to be a screw shot on the black, or on the white, sorry. As we're not playing snooker or pool, there is no black on the table.
No, it's a very...
Only a black sheep, I suppose.
No, it's important. This shot is important, because if I don't play this one good, I can lose the good position.
So the only thing you did was just play all the energy in the second ball, right? In the object ball.
Yeah, and take a position on the red ball now, so I can play on the red ball.
So no risks. Make sure that you have position. And again, no risks.
Yeah, this one was also very important. I had a very good control of the second ball, of the speed of the second ball, and I touched the third ball on the right side, so I could have the 2 balls in dominant.
So why do you choose to go between those two? Because a lot of players, I would say, would choose for the red and just...
Yeah, but you were asking why I avoid the short rail. That's the reason. So I'm getting back into the middle of the square, and that's the place that gives me the most of the possibilities to make points.
Yeah, actually, in 2 points you're back on the line, so...
Yeah, only the problem, I cannot make so many points. I have to take position directly. And now I'm getting back into the right direction, because I'm getting close to the line. You have to avoid the middle of the table.
Right. And you're back on the line. So you're approaching now the 250 points mark. I don't know what you're thinking right then. I mean, a lot of people would say, well, victory is in, but...
Yeah, it's now that you have to pay attention for the position and the position you have, because normally you don't have many problems till 250, 60, 70. And now it's starting, because you will feel that it will be over very soon, and you lose a little attention, and it can easily happen that you lose a position. So now I must be very careful.
Right, now we clearly saw what we meant by check side. I mean, he played the opposite side spin to force the object ball in position. So with his left spin, he made the red come in more on the right than he wanted to. That's just a call shot.
Yes, by 1 cushion, and the second ball 2 cushion, and I turn the position.
Perfect. Audience appreciating it, eh? Audience is really pleased to see this great quality which you can produce. So now you're asking something to the referee again?
I ask him to clean the cue ball again.
Yeah, keeping your energy up is very important, to keep your concentration up.
And also I have the time to clean the tip of the cue, on the cue. so to avoid also a miscue.
그래서
260. Just 40 to go.
62. 63.
And just in the time I said that phrase, you already made 3 more.
64.
Perfectly on the line, as we can see.
65. 66.
We can of course congratulate the production of these images who are taken on a very professional way, and so the people who will buy the DVD will have
69.
a lot of excitement and very nice moments, I hope.
Yes, indeed. So please be welcome if you have any questions or if any recommendations, or if you want to purchase this DVD, you can always go and visit the site, which is www.kozoom, which is KOZOOM.com. So don't hesitate visiting us anytime you like. And I'm sure that Mr. Caudron won't hesitate even to answer all the questions personally if needed.
74.
No, I told you, you see, 274 points and problems are coming. So I get a very bad position. Red ball was too short, and now I must make I don't know what. You will see. No, I will try to bring the balls together as soon as possible, because this is a very problematic position.
Yeah, I think it's one of the shots you take the most time for.
Of course, I only need 26 points, 25. I don't have to open the position.
Because each point is very important, right?
Yeah.
Until the last ball is made, until the last point is made, you're not sure of the victory.
67.
And this was very important shot. You see.
Nicely done.
Only the position is entrée. I will make a small one, small point.
77.
Dedans.
Dedans.
And now the red ball must go out of the square. And I will take the position on the red ball.
78.
Just to make sure that you can't risk anything. That you don't risk losing position again, right?
That's it.
Okay. Just make a screw shot on the right to bring the red back to the middle of the square. Now a very simple screw shot on the white.
Only the angle on the white ball was not good enough.
280.
So now I have still a little problem to put the balls together.
So how far are you from the white right now?
Well, let's say 35 centimeter.
You make that screw shot seem so easy. Because I know that a lot of people have many problems playing a screw shot as delicate as that one with that distance.
82.
82, I need 18 points more. And this is also important shot now. Chance to get the position back a little under control.
Perfectly under control. Just a stun shot with a little top side spin so that the cue ball travels a little bit forward. It's a very technical shot, just like this one, because you create a passage between the red. So now there's position on the red again.
27.
Call shot over 2 rails. And perfectly on the line again.
No, I was thinking it's over, because now I got through the difficult moment. I got the position on the line. I need maybe 12.
So the referee won't hesitate to call et pour 5 very soon. Only 10 shots to make. 10 points for the victory. If Mr. Garcia doesn't make any points or doesn't make the 300 points as well, because unlike 3-cushion billiards, the balkline billiards you have at least one visit.
Yeah, he still will get the chance to equalize in the game.
Right, and that's something you don't see at 3-cushion billiards these days. Checking the referee for his opinion. Dedans. Et pour 4, that means and 4 to go.
I asked him to check the position because it's important now to be sure.
So even if you only need 4, you're still a very precise player who needs every shot, right?
Yes, of course. It's why I don't get a surprise at this moment also. I need 2 more and now I'm sure I will finish.
I'm sure that the audience will stand up. As you can see, it's a fantastic break of 300. Just one inning. Mr. Garcia just asking